Hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path. My name is Travis. My pronouns are he and they, and I will be your game master as we return for Scarred Lands Sins of Shelzar, Season 3, Episode 11, Aftermath. In this episode, we're going to dive into the consequences of the some might say heroic, others might say horrible decisions that were made last session by our players. And we'll explore that a little bit momentarily. But before we do, I would like to call your attention to a couple of things. First of all, it is my extreme pleasure to announce that Trinity Continuum Adventure is now available in POD and PDF over at Drive-Thru RPG. This is the Pulp Era Trinity Continuum book. It is the second edition of probably like in my top three favorite RPGs of literally all time. And I had the extreme honor and pleasure of being able to write on it. So I cannot recommend highly enough you run out today and pick up Trinity Continuum Adventure. Forgive our dancing around on the screen momentarily as we have a couple of players. Our Chicago contingent are all late today, so it happens. We will survive.
Must be Chicago traffic.
Right, it must be Chicago. Yep. But yeah, I wanted to bring to your attention that Trinity Continuum Adventure is currently available, and recommend you run out and pick that up at your earliest convenience, and then write a rate a review of it, say nice things about it, tell your friends to do the same. Also want to remind you that the last Friday of every month is Onyx Path Game Night over at Start Playing. I just went through, if you're a subscriber to this channel, you should be able to go and watch the VOD right now. Otherwise, if you check it out over on our YouTube shortly, within the next couple days, I just had Devin from Start Playing on the channel. He walked me through setting up a game through the process. It's super easy. Yeah, if you're interested in running a game, we have a sort of coordinated game night the last Friday of every month. People get together to play Onyx Path games. You can set that up and start playing. You can charge for it or you can run it for free. It's up to you. If you're looking to play a game, you can go on there and look and see what's on offer. And if you're looking for groups, you can also always check out our Discord, which we also do have dedicated game rooms for, in addition to a looking for group channel. So if you need a place to set up for your voice chat, you hop right onto our Discord server. We have rooms right there. It's a good fun time for all parties concerned. I think that pays the bills for today. So that being said, let's get into it. When last we met, our adventurers had fought their way into the Falcon's lair, were able to defeat the Titan spawn and crack its chest open and place the winter bloom seeds within its heart's blood to melt and be destroyed. Therefore, ending the threat of a snow apocalypse that the Frost Queen wanted to inflict on the world of Skarn. But in this process, also causing Ithrin to betray the goddess that she had pledged to worship. That process took 8 days. So when we begin tonight's game, we have 16 days left in the countdown of where Tennille has blocked Freya from being able to spot Ithrin. During this time, the party has made something of a base of operations out of the former Thulkin's home, though they have yet to clean out the remaining thunder orbs. The rest of the security has been disabled and twisted to their advantage. Charlie has been casting guards and wards throughout the area to keep them safe and isolated. And Charlung, I believe, has been working on maintaining a teleport circle with the idea of theoretically doing that every day for the next year so that they can have a permanent circle leading to this place. Does that sound about like where we parked?
Yep.
Excellent. So the winter bloom seeds are destroyed. You've all leveled up. Congratulations. This was a big one. This was level 13. So you all, I believe, got a proficiency bonus bump and a couple of extra things. So it should be fun. So tell me, what would you all like to do with this remaining time? You have 16 days until Freelia will no longer be being held at bay by Tennille.
So there are two things I want to do. So now that the seeds have been smashed, Ithrin would like to poke her head outside of the Falcon lair and sort of read the signs in nature to see if the Winter Queen is at all pissed off. And then the second thing she would like to do is sort of ponder if there's anything she can do, like any place that she can go that would be safe from the Snow Queen, the Winter Queen.
Sure. Why don't we start things off with a lovely religion check for Ithrin, please?
Okay, and my proficiency bonus for that is 0. And I rolled a 15.
Excellent. So as you're kind of sitting there thinking and trying to figure out, like, what are my options? What are my options? Inspiration sort of strikes in that the divine victors, the main 8 gods of Skarn, all sort of called a truce at the end of the Divine War and pissed off to their respective extra-dimensional homes. And though they have been seen on Skarn in the years intervening, it has grown less frequent with each passing year as they become more entwined in their celestial responsibilities. Now the Titans are not there to keep the world spinning, as it were. It falls to the victors to do so. However, as far as you know, there are 2 factors that might work in your favor. One, the victors are not beholden in any way, shape, or form to not interfere with the affairs of demigods, of which Freelia is one. And secondly, you have enough to go on to firmly believe that the gods would not have approved of this plan, that this was not part of the divine plan for Skarn. Knowing that, there are kind of a couple of options for who you might turn to for help in terms of passing some sort of judgment or alleviating you of guilt, or perhaps interceding on your behalf. You turn to Tennille to hide you. But that's a temporary fix at best.
Right.
You realize that your best options would lie with petitioning either Chardoon, who is sort of among many profiles is the god of binding.
Mhm.
So conceivably, you might be able to work out some sort of a deal with Chardoon where he could bind Freya against hurting you. Problem being is Chardoon is absolutely lawful evil, and you are
Mm.
well aware of that. That Chardoon is also the god of war generals and slavery. Not a nice
I
guy.
think I'm chaotic good, so diametrically opposite.
Right. Option 2 would be to throw yourself at the mercy of Madriel the Redeemer and hope that she would intervene on your behalf.
Okay, that sounds like a better god to ask a favor of.
Sure.
I certainly need a little bit of redemption going on right now.
The third option would be to plead your case to Hadrad, the lawful good god of law, judgment, and order.
What is Madria?
Yes.
What is her alignment?
Catechid.
All right, I think I'm going to go with the god whose alignment is the most like my own. So,
Okay. A couple of other things to consider, things to think about.
uh
As far as you know, with your religion check of 15, uh, there are temples of Madriel all over the place. Pretty much anywhere that's not under the sort of yoke of Chardoon worship on Gelspad will have some sort of a temple of Madriel. Getting a direct audience with Madriel, a bit harder. The only way you know of that allegedly would give you a direct line to her is a legendary construction in the Kelder Mountains, deep inside the city of Barak Torn, the home of the Kelder Dwarves. There is allegedly a artifact known as the Devanal Arch. This arch was constructed during the Divine War by Goran, the god of the dwarves, for this explicit purpose of baiting churn into it so that Madriel could basically, so churn would fall into Madriel's realm of healing and redemption, and that thus, because he was a titan of disease, be weakened enough that Madriel could take him down. It didn't get used because at the moment during the battle, when the Kelder dwarves and the Drendali elves were supposed to be baiting churn into this arch, the dwarves under Goran's command abandoned the fight, betraying the Drendali, claiming that the Drendali that Goran had received a vision that the Drendali were going to betray him.
so there's an empty god trap just sitting there.
Well, no, they destroyed the Devanal Arch that was set up on the bridge, but there is one, according to legend, still located within the city of Barak Torn. So it's not just like out where you can get to it. You would need to go petition the dwarves to try to get access to it.
It's a lot to do in 16 days.
That's the most direct route you know of to Madriel. Again, there's temples all over the place. Now,
Okay.
Hadrad, there's two other two kind of more direct routes to get in touch with the god of law. Give me just a half a second. So,
I also looked up my alignment. I am chaotic neutral.
excellent. Which falls more in line with,
Yeah, I'd agree.
yeah. Well, there's a couple of others, I mean, Vangel's chaotic evil. You don't know, you doubt severely that Vangel would help for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Um,
We're gonna
right.
put the evil gods at like let's ask them last.
Sure. And Keely's chaotic neutral. But that's a literal crapshoot as to whether or not they would help you.
Okay. So
Hadrada, you do know you could reach one of two ways. There are two principal temples of Hadrada that are known to be visited by the god somewhat regularly. There's the library at Lokil, which, according to legend and rumor, the master archivist can summon Hadrada in times of need. And then there's the city of Hadrad, where Hadrada is known to visit once a year. Problem with going to Hadrad is it's literally illegal to allow a druid into the city.
right. So my thought process is Hadrad would probably judge us, and we have been doing a lot of shady shit. So my plan and what Ithrin will sort of go back and tell the rest of the party about is her plan is to start heading towards what was the place that we could contact Madriel?
Baruch Torn would be the Devinal Arch. You could go to any. There's a temple to Madriel in Shelzar.
Yeah, so
But as far as like to that end, there's a temple to Madriel and Lokil as well. Those are the two probably nearest cities to you.
yeah, so her plan is to head towards. You just told me the city name,
Baruch
Baraktor.
Torn. Yeah.
Baraktorn. Yeah. So she's going to head there. And if she crosses paths or comes across any temples to Madriel along the way, she'll duck in there.
Okay.
And see if that will work. But otherwise, she'll head like in that direction. And yeah, so I'm gonna go do this thing that might help me not get smote, but it means traveling, which is dangerous. So
And it
I'm
is
not.
a not small amount of traveling. In order to get, if you're traveling overland to get to Baruch Torn from where you're at, give me just a second here and I'll
Yeah,
look it
so
up.
if you're in,
So you are literally on the other side of the continent from the Kelder Mountains right now.
So I'll tell everyone else like, hey, I'm not going to ask you to come with me because that's really dangerous, and you have already done more than I could ever ask of anyone else to be a part of. But if you want to travel in this direction with me, I won't stop you.
Any thoughts
I'll
from
go.
anyone?
I'll go.
Charlong just mentions that if we want to make this place someplace we can come back to, I'll need to be here at least once a day.
Where are the teleportation circles that you all have committed to memory?
Mine. So, Gleaming Valley, Kova Kemru, a cave outside Stasium, Zacharik, which is an Eshik settlement, a wizard tower in Kurzikoshin,
Yep.
Idra north of Gelspad, and Hollowfaust.
Okay.
Also,
So
I would think about Shelzar. I forgot to mention that one. That one
sure.
was first on the list.
Hollowfaust is pretty close to Lokiel if you wanted to go that route to try to get to Hadrada. You're the closest that you would get out of those if you were traveling by teleportation circle would be the Gleaming Valley, where there is also a temple to Madriel.
And also, like, we did save them. They might, pour some extra effort into getting you in contact with Madriel.
You did save them. You did also save them and then leave on the eve of a battle. So, I mean, just saying, like, yes, you did some amazing heroic stuff for them, but also do keep in mind that you then left when Glividatel was about to invade. So,
In our defense, they said it was fine.
Have we heard any news of that situation?
no, because I don't think any of you have bothered to follow up with it.
Well, I try to remember, but it's too far away.
Right, but you also declined to have anyone cast sending for you.
It's gonna be awkward to text my boyfriend like out of nowhere, like new phone, who this? It's just
Also, wasn't that like a dwarven city that you wanted to go to? Would
Yeah,
potentially
Brocktorn is a dwarven city, yes.
potentially could we find some place that would be likely to know and be willing to trade in the teleportation circle sigils or bring us to
Why don't you, Charlung, make a history check for me, please?
sure, not my strong suit, but 3 or 4 will not do it probably.
No, I will not. You haven't the foggiest. You do know, you do recall mention that the Broadreach dwarves and the Kelder dwarves regard each other as cousins, but that's literally all you know. And so you think maybe the bard that you were taking around at the from Leone to Freeholm might have mentioned spending some time in Baraktorn, but that's really about it. I'm not saying don't go to the Gleaming Valley. I'm just reminding you that you did in fact leave like while Hollowfast was about to invade.
we had to.
I mean,
we had
that's
shit to do.
Hollowfaust's
Or
problem.
not Hollowfast, I'm sorry, Glividatel.
I mean, that's their problem. I'm sure they can deal with it. We told them. We gave them warning.
You did warn them, yeah, that's true.
Um.
I mean, you could try just traveling overland, but without the aid of magic, you will never make it to Baraktorn in 18 days or in 16 days. You just won't.
Okay.
It's 3,000 miles away from where you're at.
What's the
6 hour
closest
plane ride.
miles?
It's fine.
What's the closest miles wise that I had to?
So as far as Temples of Madriel, closest
no, to the city, Brecktorn or whatever.
Oh, the Gleaming Valley by far. It'll cut the
And-
distance in more than half. But you'll still be almost halfway away from.
Yeah, still more than 16 days travel. We either need to find someone that knows exactly how to get there. Possibly if you could find an object that has recently come from there.
Well, would there be some sort of like sympathetic link between the temples, do you think? So like if we went to a closer temple for Madriel, like would that help?
From everything I know about teleportation magic, you need very strong links, not kind of okay
Hmm.
links. Unlike, it would probably help for like a clairvoyance type spell, but I don't know about teleportation.
Charlie, why don't you give me an Arcana check?
Oh, I suppose I could do that. Well, if I can find the D20. I can. Mm. 21.
Excellent. So you remember, that occurs to you that there is another option, possibly at the Library of Lokiel. According to legend, one of the few orreries of the plains is installed at the Library of Lokiel. It allows you, if you can get access to it, it allows you to open a planar gate to any of the divine or zodiacal planes.
Okay. I'll share that information.
Do you have teleport circle?
Yeah.
Is that one of the locations you know?
I have no idea. I don't know how I know what I know.
You would have noted them down theoretically. Otherwise, because you learned one when you learned the spell.
2 when you
Um,
learn the spell.
Yeah, it's two when you learn the spell. Sorry. So I think when you learned the spell, you decided it was going to be Shelzar and
Probably. Hold on, let's
the
see.
Gleaming Valley. But
I have no methods to any of my madness.
Excuse me, miss. Sorry.
Mm,
It's your cat. You have to show us the cat.
She's right there in the back. I see her. She's on the shelf.
yeah, no, I probably wrote it down somewhere. That sounds rightish. That's fine. But I thought I wrote it down somewhere and I don't see it.
Oh, kitten.
yeah, I would Stream Cat. Yeah, I would assume that those would be the two that you're most familiar with.
She's so patient being held like that.
She is a potato.
Oh, look at that face.
Well,
But I haven't had it long, so
if
that's
we
the other
plan to
thing.
make this a base, I need to cast a spell in this location every day
Yes.
for a year.
Yes.
Which means
No,
I can take us to any location that we know a teleportation circle for every day. And I can bring us back here
Mm-hmm.
at any time during that day.
Well, and now that those sigils are there, any of you who knows teleportation circle can teleport back to this base because you all can just memorize the symbols, right? So if you want to conserve the spell slot so that you can cast it when you get back, somebody else could teleport circle and bring you back home.
Well, I also have teleport, which is just verbal and 100% chance for known circle. So
Oh, see, I got I see what you're saying.
I can use my
Having-
6th level slot to cast teleportation circle and send us somewhere. And then I can bring us all back here at the end of the day. We don't need to rent rooms unless we want to. I'm happy to leave anyone anywhere and just play chauffeur because I'm going to be casting this spell for a year straight in this location. Sadly, that means that I can't really go more than half a day's travel away from a teleportation circle we know the runes for. So I'd appreciate it if any such mission involved trying to discover more teleportation circles.
Well, if you go to Hollowfaust, you'll be not terribly far. Probably 3 days travel or so from Lokiel. The downside to that is it's 3 days across the festering fields, which you all are aware is about 100 square mile radius of Skarn that was irrevocably damaged during the Divine War, and is just rampant with necromantic energy. So there are storms of necromantic energy. Undead periodically pop up out of the ground without warning. There are giant tumbleweeds made of bone that periodically animate and attack people. It's not a nice place. Alternatively, you can try to get there on foot from where you're at, which would be more of like about a 10-day journey, about 5 of which is through the sweltering plains, which is Sutak territory, and the other 5 of which is through the festering fields. So that is also an option. So the most viable options, it sounds like, that you have at the moment are go to Shelzar and go to a temple and hope for the best, provided you don't get arrested while you're in Shelzar. Teleport to the Gleaming Valley and hope for the best, or head to Lokiel either by way of Hollowfaust or on foot.
And doesn't like Nolo have to go back to that one library?
Yes, though I believe Nolo also has teleportation circle, correct?
I don't know.
Yes, I do.
Right. So Nolo could theoretically bop up there, grab the books, and bop back down if he wanted to.
So is there a teleportation circle at the library in Lokiel that can get us what we need?
Theoretically, but
Or
none of
get us-
you know the combination for the teleportation circle at Lokiel. Closest one you know is
Okay.
Hollowfaust.
And how long would it take to get to Lokiel?
From Hollowfaust, 3 days.
Okay.
It's just 3 days across the string fields. Plus,
The other interesting
Thank you.
thing is that theoretically, as long as Nolo is traveling with you, or Charlie is with, if either one of them, like if I need to come along, one of you two could cast teleportation circle where you are and give me the sigil sequence to come to it from ours.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah, that would be convenient.
right, that would also enable Charlung to go along with you, because one of you could just send a teleportation circle to send Charlung back. Hello, Raiders! Thanks for raiding Murder Hobos and Chocobros. Good to see you.
We have so much teleport right now.
Yeah, you all apparently got very, very sick of walking places.
So basically just regrouping and just deciding what's next for us. Is that what's happening?
Yeah,
Okay.
because basically we only have like 16 days to sort it all out, and otherwise Ithran will just be smote.
Not ideal.
Nope. And we're trying to decide if we're going to go back to the battlefield we abandoned last minute to finish our mission, because the DM is making us feel guilty about that.
What battlefield?
Oh, so they were
Valley?
shortly
yeah.
before Nolo joined us, when we defeated the plague. We left
Mhm.
all of the soldiers who were just recovering from a plague to defend an attack by the undead necromancers.
Well, that's right. We've heard like no news on that since then.
Nope.
None whatsoever.
And also, we do have a piece of Breck's armor that we could return to the Gleaming Valley.
Yeah, that's true.
That is, I believe, in my bag of holding. Yeah.
Charlung
Do you
thinks that would be a
guilt
fitting
trip?
place to bring it.
It's up to y'all. I have laid out the options. In the interim, while you're trying to figure out your plan, Nolo, is there any business that you wanted to attend in Fenrelic other than getting your books?
No, that's been my priority since I got here. So,
All right. I will say this: while the rest of you are discussing it, Nolo, you teleport back to the library. They provide you with the books, but you do notice, pretty much immediately upon arriving, several of the wizards are kind of like near windows working magic. Seems like there's a bit of a hullabaloo going on in Kovo Kimra.
what's going on?
There's been a blizzard for the last 8 days or so.
That not normal here.
I mean, we get snow, don't get me wrong, but not to this degree, no. Clearly something has angered the Titans.
As I was going to say, I have to talk to somebody back home then.
Well, here are your books, and thank you again for your service. If you'll excuse me, I need to go out and do what I can to try to help prevent the city from freezing.
Thank you very much. No, Bamf back.
Excellent.
But yeah, I think you've pissed off your goddess for sure, because there's been a blizzard for 8 days in Kovakimura, which is I hear not normal.
Well, I feel bad about that, but I comfort myself with the knowledge that it's going to end and not plunge the entire world into eternal winter.
I'd say the alternate was a never-ending blizzard, even in Shelzar.
So sorry, not sorry, I guess.
Come with an update, not judging. I don't care.
Well,
you know,
thank you for the update. But anyway, so I'm gonna try and make it to a dwarf city before Tennille's blessing wears off and she can find me.
All right. So is that going to be the plan then? You're going to try to make it to Barak Torn, or do you want to?
So is there a teleport circle between Lokil and Barak Torn?
You have no idea. Charlung did not make a good history check. I'll let you have a bard with you. I'll let Charlie give me a history check if you don't mind. The bard is muted.
That's a terrible thing to do to a bard.
The mute button is not cooperating with me, and my history is not great either.
I'm sorry.
That's-
16.
16 is not bad. So you know that Barak Torn is isolationist at best. They don't let people teleport in. They don't. They've been fighting a war with Calastia for the last 110 years or so, and they are very leery of any non-dwarves, but they certainly don't maintain teleportation circles. In fact, the city is probably warded against teleportation.
All right, so if we were going to try to use teleportation to get to Barak Torn, what would the best route be?
Get a dwarf to do it for you, who theoretically knows of some secret way in there, because as far as you know, there is no teleporting into Barak Torn.
All right, is there somewhere?
The formal title of Barak Torn is the Impregnable Citadel of Barak Torn.
Oh, okay. I see how
Well,
it is now.
That would have been information that was good to have like earlier, Travis.
All right.
Challenge
So,
accepted.
Unthinkable ship, though.
It's not
There
my
was
fault.
also
that
there was also
they're
that
gonna have
tower that
eventually.
Charlie mentioned.
all right. So the next question is it possible for us to get to a place where we can teleport from somewhere to somewhere else that is closer to Barak Torn? Essentially, like, we need to get to New York City, but we can only teleport to Philadelphia.
Right. I mean, if you can get to Lokiel and get access to the orrery of the plains, you could theoretically go anywhere in creation from that point.
Okay.
As long as you can get in and convince the master archivist to give you access to the orrery.
Or we break in and do it anyway.
You try that. That is something you can try. Yeah.
All
Tell
right,
us.
so it seems more and more like Lokiel seems like our best bet. What do other people think?
Yeah.
I'm down with whatever.
Okay.
You to not die.
Me too.
My head is buried in books.
Okay, yeah, then I guess let's head to Lokiel.
Excellent. So I assume then, Charlene, you're going to teleport to Hollowfest.
Yeah, so was I given any sort of information about the official requests for teleportation? Since everyone seems really surprised when we wander through teleport circles.
So you would know because you learned the sequence. The teleportation circle located in Hollowfaust is within the sort of the lobby of the Underfaust. The Underfaust is where all of the magical research is done. It's where the medical school is, and it's basically set up so that when you get there, you then fill out some paperwork and petition for entrance into the city. One of the notable facts about Hollowfaust is it's a relatively good and open society, but it's a lawful good and open society. There are rules, there are laws, and breaking the law in Hollowfaust generally not advisable. Hollowfaust uses ethically sourced undead for all of its security and public works. And the principal deities that are worshipped there are Hadrada, Chardoon, Vangal, and Madriel, I believe. But
So
there's
we
a
haven't
lot
been
of
to Holofaust before.
you have not been to Holofaust before.
We could see, we might get lucky, and they might know the teleportation circle runes to get directly to the place that we're trying to go. So that's like one avenue of barter that I want to try to see if we can manage while here.
Sure. Is anyone not going on this journey? Is anyone going to stay back at the at base camp? Are you taking? Is there anything that you are specifically or taking with you, or specifically leaving behind?
Ithrin will remove her necklace of the Snow Queen and just like put it in a pouch.
Okay.
Like
Are you going
not
to unattune it?
not for right now,
Okay.
but I don't want to give into the temptation to use it.
Sure.
Smart.
Spend your spell slot and cast your spell. You reach through the fabric of the universe and connect yourself to the runes in Holofaust. The surroundings around you fade, and as they come back up, you find yourselves inside of what looks like, I guess for lack of a better word, the entryway to a crypt.
Is this where we were supposed to end up?
Yep.
There are
The Holofaust version of the magic store, school,
Okay.
lobby,
right.
/
There are 8 guards stationed there. Give me just a moment to find y'all's tokens and drag you over to where you're supposed to be. 6 of these guards that are stationed there appear to be, as near as you can tell, they look like they're like centaur skeletons. They have the upper body of a human, the lower body of a horse, but they're just skeletal. The other 2, the remaining 2, are just human skeletons. As soon as you appear, they all kind of fall in, just step one step closer to you to kind of indicate that you should wait. And then about a minute, maybe 2 minutes later, a lady walks in. Looks like she's probably human, probably in her 30s, maybe 40s, wearing a black cloak, a red like sash, like almost like a scarf, and a very wide brimmed black hat. And she walks in holding what looks like a stack of parchment and a pen that looks like it was crafted from like the forearm bone of a human. And she looks around and says, "Which one of you teleported in?" She hands you the stack of paper and the pen.
I cast tongues beforehand just in case anyone's speaking in other languages also.
Sure, absolutely.
But that won't help me with reading. What language is said thing written in?
That is a beautiful question. Give me 2 shakes of sheep's tail and I will let you know. It is, it's written in Dunan.
I don't think I know Sid's language.
If you
Do you offer a Lydian translation, man?
if you flip through, there's also a version in Lydian and a version in Ukradan.
All right, I find the Lydian translation.
They're nothing if not thorough bureaucrats.
Gross.
What is it they're asking me to sign?
Well, they're asking you to like fill out a form. It's asking the purpose of your visit, the length that you intend to stay, a full inventory of your magical and martial capabilities of yourself and
It's
your
a
party.
customs form?
Basically, yeah.
No.
Everything you carried with you, the value.
Are you
Right.
bringing any fruits
Yeah.
or vegetables
Actually,
from
you
another?
asked what I was bringing, by the way. I asked about bringing some of this raw titanium as
Oh, you mean the raw adamantine?
basically, or adamantine as possible trade goods. Like, is there more adamantine than you could use in your lifetime?
Yes.
And if so, can I take some of it
Don't
to
want to pay
trade?
taxes.
Yes.
So I'm probably carrying, or we're probably carrying a significant amount, but
I
basically
have
for
8
barter
bars of
purposes.
adamantine in my bag.
Yeah, basically for trade purpose.
Yeah. I mean, they want an extensive list of, like I said, magical and martial capabilities, what everyone is carrying, whether or not any of you are currently or have recently suffered a magical or mundane illness, any
Shit, we're gonna
curses
have
that you might be
to-
under.
Do we have to disclose the dead man's rust? I think a
Do
few
you
of
You
us
have
just
to?
have.
I
lie.
mean,
We just lie on the customs form like in real life. You have to lie.
So,
They won't let you in.
so I will tell the truth on my customs form, except I will not say I think the Snow Queen has it out for me because I haven't actually had that proven yet. That's just conjecture.
Well, at this point, I mean, they are waiting patiently, but if any of you like attempt to like reach for the paper or whatever, the functionary sort of clears her throat and says the person responsible for your arrival needs to fill out that form.
So yeah, I'm basically just like chatting with everybody, filling out said form, for probably a good 20 or 30 minutes. Like, okay, did you bring? All right, you've got the tattoo. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Are you going to attempt to omit anything from this form?
Don't tell them I think a goddess is mad at me.
There's no
Stop saying it so loud.
there's no line for that on the form. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah,
After they
Technically
haven't
a
thought of
curse.
it.
We're
There
not
will
telling
be
about
after
rust
this.
at all.
Are you or have you ever been in a god or titan's shit list?
In that case, go ahead and give me just like if you're not trying to deceive on the form, just go ahead and give me a your choice of history or persuasion, whichever is better.
All right. I'll go for persuasion. That would be a 29.
Excellent. After what feels to everyone else like an hour or so, Charlung finally finishes the form. Hands it back over. The functionary just kind of flips through it and says, "Looks like everything's in order." And
Could I get an extra copy of that? Can I fill it out before I come next time?
certainly.
Thanks.
I'll fetch you one right away. Also, the Northern District is off limits to visitors right now. We're currently doing some
Bless you.
magical repairs. Bless you. Is there anywhere that I can direct you to?
We probably shouldn't say where we're going. We should probably just go.
I mean, the library.
Well, I'm looking
That's
for
a pretty innocuous place to want to go to.
I'm looking for trade zones for magical components, and because we basically need to buy 3. I think we calculated it was 20,000 gold pieces worth of inks and oils and gems to cast teleportation circle every day for a year on Skarn. So
Absolutely. Oh, and I had a complete brain fart. The primary deity that is worshipped in Holofaust is Namorga. God of death.
Ooh.
Why'd you bring us here?
It's a vacation.
because
It's called a vacation.
it's
You know where we should go? We should go hang out with the goddess of death. It's gonna be a good time.
I
you're
feel
gonna
like I
fit
already
in
have a
perfect, Lulu.
margarita.
Don't worry about it. You'll fit in perfect, Lulu.
Don't worry about it. Famous last words.
Yeah, they do not seem to bat an eye at Lulu, by the way. Nobody seems to give Lulu a second look.
Well, that's nice for me.
They give you directions. She hands you another set of blank customs forms for future use and a map of the city. The map of the city does have a couple of magic shops that are listed on it. It also points to the Colosseum, which also serves as the Temple of Vangel. It points to several temples of Namorga and the temples of Hadrad and Madriel. And then she leaves.
This was the closest we could get to the tower. If we were to leave from here, it would take us how long to get to that tower?
Take you 3 days, provided you don't run into any problems in the festering fields that slow you down.
But what are the odds?
Also, given that it's only 3 days from here, I think that's a high likelihood that we will be able to purchase transit, or there may exist transit between here and there.
You can give it a shot. Where would you like to go first?
The bar. The bar knows everything.
Well, you can go. A couple of you can maybe go out on the town, and then the wizardy types, we can go after the arcane sigils.
Yeah,
Well-
you should definitely send me and Olin to the bar alone. That won't lead. That's a great idea.
You're
Well, here
literally
we go.
gonna say you're gonna go to the bar without me? That's ridiculous.
Well, Charlie's coming too. It's just gonna make for better decisions, Dad.
If they get into
Actually, good.
trouble, just send for us.
Actually, that's a good group split. Not gonna lie.
Let's do it.
What could go wrong? I already have a drink in my hand somehow. And get the death Aritas. And I'm like, I don't know. Didn't you get one when you got off the teleportation circle?
The mysterious guy handed you a drink. Didn't you see that?
Like how
Nothing
Ithrin
wrong
always
with it.
has snacks in her pocket.
Okay, so
Let's do it. Yes.
so just so I'm clear on this, Charlie, Lulu, and Alan are heading to a bar,
Tavern.
right?
Yes.
Uh, and everyone else is heading to the nearest source of
Knowledge.
well, are you going to a
choices will
magic
be had.
shop, or are you going to try to because you're in the Underhouse, you're in effectively a
The
magical
college.
school.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd be looking for like someone in, like teleportation and, like do they have a floor directory that's like teleportation school 6th floor?
No, most of the there is a directory, but you note that most of the departments are related to either necromancy or medicine.
Heard all these stories when
So who's gonna go get me a drink?
I feel like a magic trader might have a good link to magic circles.
Is there a temple to Madriel here?
There is a temple to Madriel.
That is where Ithrin is going.
All right. So
Are
Ithrin
there
is
any
going.
laws we should be aware of, like weird laws, like having to have the thing on your weapons?
You do not need to have your weapons peacebound, but you should know that assault
This is a good one.
with a weapon carries a minimum charge of 5 years of forced labor.
Oh God!
Okay, so we can just use our fists.
These are lethal weapons.
As far as the laws are concerned, there are several laws that are punishable by fine, and these are all kind of covered in the pamphlet you have that has the map with it. Like for example, walking on the wrong side of the street is punishable by a 2 gold piece fine.
Oh, this sounds like a fun place to be.
Yeah, interfering with any undead who are conducting official municipal business is 100 gold piece fine.
Yeah, I'm about to be commissioning some sort of business for them. Someone's gonna have to tell me I'm not.
Well, municipal business would be something like, for example, the city guard, or also like Holofaust's public works is handled through undead. So like as you go out onto the streets, you see like skeletons like sweeping the street. It looks almost to you like the mirror opposite of Glividatel, where everything was filthy and frightening, and there was kind of this air of horror about the place. When you get onto the streets of Holofaust, everything's kind of bright and shiny and well maintained. There's just a lot of undead walking around. But even the undead are bright, shiny, and well maintained.
Well, I'm probably not as well maintained as them.
I was gonna say, oh my God. I was gonna say, well,
There's no way.
looks like Lulu doesn't fit in after all.
So just so that I'm clear on destinations, I've got Charlie, Lulu, Alan at the bar. I've got Charlung. You're going to a magic shop? Is that correct?
Unless Nolo has a better idea. I assume Nolo and I are sticking together.
If you don't direct Nolo, he will just walk aimlessly right now because his head is buried in a book. In fact, you see him like head buried in a book. He walks into a wall, doesn't look up, says sorry, and then keeps walking.
Nice.
Well, then in that case, I'm going to assume that someone who deals in magical trinkets probably has some deal with the magical trinket manufactory type people over in that tower. And so they might know a way to teleport there
I mean,
or get
that's
a
a safe.
message.
That's a safe-ish assumption, I suppose. Um,
Being a
So-
trader myself.
and then again, just to clarify, Ithrin's heading to a temple.
Yes.
Excellent. Just want to make sure I'm putting everybody in the right spots as I break, as we split the party.
Always great.
It's our best move.
It's a great
It
idea.
is.
It's always worked out great.
A plus.
Yeah. Never ever been a problem.
Never.
We've never ended up fighting gods after that's happened.
Mm-mm.
Out
Nothing
of
better
character
than
if it does.
All right. So we're going to start, we're going to go in like a reverse order once I get everybody kind of set up.
roll for initiative.
No, we already split the party like 3 ways.
We have to be peaceful for 2 minutes.
I mean, are you sure you can swing that?
No, I'm going to a bar with Holland. There's no way that this ends in not jail. We're going to jail.
Free hotel.
Free hotel and lots of labor.
Free room, board, and meals.
I mean, that is accurate. You would have, in fact.
It sounds like you're just employed now.
Might actually be better than some people's employment.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to this bar scene. It's going to be highly entertaining no matter what happens.
All right.
Are we supposed to be finding information out though, just to remember that?
We will.
You're looking to see if like hiring or like what the people who make the route between here and there might know about the travel potential.
Okay.
Sure. All right, we'll start things off in the bar.
Yes.
So, Alan, Lulu, Charlie, you arrive at the bar. It's late afternoon, probably. So, it's pretty busy here. Like people are enjoying dinner, enjoying some drinks. There's a band playing when you walk in, and you immediately clock that the band is entirely made out of skeletons who seem to be using their own bones as like woodwind instruments. There's a human behind the bar who sort of nods at you as you walk in. You would say probably 85 to 90% of the people that you've seen so far while you've been in the city are human. You've seen a couple of orcs, a dwarf or two, but it's mostly humans. And you do, let's get an insight check from the three of you.
14.
24.
That's really close to a natural one.
Excellent. And what about Alan?
It's rolling. 18.
All right, all three of you clock pretty quickly. that they seem to be kind of looking at you a bit oddly as you're walking in.
All of us, or Alan specifically?
I would say with what you rolled, Lulu, you probably think it's all of you that they're looking at. Alan, you're pretty sure that they're just looking at you a bit oddly. And with your result, Charlie, you can clock that most of the people seem to be kind of a mixture of scared and tense at Alan's presence.
That's fair. It's probably appropriate, actually.
Is it because I look so hot?
Yes.
Why don't you make a history roll, Alan?
It's about to be.
No.
Is that the famous actress Sarah Jessica Parker?
Damn.
Oh, I have
That's not okay.
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, you haven't the foggiest. If you want to drop
That's what
a
it is.
history check, Charlie, I will allow you to do so as well.
I can find the right tab.
Man, our group just goes around oblivious to a lot of things.
22.
Okay, so you, as you realize that they're looking at Alan, you realize that Hallowfaust has repelled 3 sieges throughout since its foundation. All 3 of those sieges were by Sutek. They're probably, and you look around and realize there's no iron bread here. So you're probably experiencing a wee bit of racially motivated discomfort and perhaps prejudice based on the presence of a iron bread.
Will Charlie tell me this?
Yeah, I'll say, like, I don't know that they like the horse folks. Like, I'm gonna try to not be like, yo, like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a total psycho, but
I mean, and
I get it. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna pretend like I'm taking a call, and I'm gonna be like, I need to leave immediately, and I'm gonna go into the alley and put my head of disguise and come back in as a human.
Good choice.
All right, so you just pull a rock out of your pocket like it's a sending stone.
Hello? I need a signal.
The 2 of you notice a sort of like a collective sigh of relief when Alan walks out of the bar. How long are you waiting before you walk back in, Alan?
I'm gonna give it like a minute. Like, I don't want it to feel like too long, like I could have gone somewhere and did something, but I don't want it to feel like, and also like I'm probably gonna take a piece of clothing because I don't want to come back in the exact same outfit.
Well, they had a disguise. They had a disguise to let you change your outfits look as well.
Right.
But if you walk out and turn around, walk in a minute later, back over to the people you left, that's still some Bugs Bunny type shit. So I'm going to need you to make a deception check, please.
Bugs Bunny.
I'm not gonna come up to them. I'm gonna just come up to the bar and sit to like kind of away from them for a bit.
Okay.
And pretend to meet them.
That's a little better.
But should I still do a deception check?
No, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Well,
I'm like, bye guys. Hey guys.
While Alan is walking out and getting her Bugs Bunny on, what are Charlie and Lulu doing?
Probably getting a drink and
probably
going to
drinking.
find somebody to talk to.
The barkeep gives you both whatever you order. They have a wide array of alcohol selections here. And they say, I assume your buddy that left is one of those iron bread we've heard about?
Yeah.
That's what I've been told.
Or did you bring a Sutak into Hollowfaust?
Oh no. No, she's not.
Yeah, people are a little leery. We don't see a lot of iron bread here. Sorry for the ignorance. What brings you to Hollowfaust? You look like you're not from around these parts.
No, we've got to head. Where are we going? I can't remember the name of anything.
Lokiel.
We're looking for this road.
Yeah,
It
so we're
goes to
trying
Lokiel.
to get to Lokiel, and
Oh, I mean, there's a passage to take you straight there. This time of year, it's a little dicey with the necro storms, but
what are necro storms?
Festering Fields has some weather patterns. The necrostorms are basically clouds of necrotic energy that blow through, rot meat, age people, raise the dead, that sort of thing. They're pretty bad this time of year. Caravans don't start back up for about 3 weeks.
Okay. Does it penetrate everything?
I mean, if you know your necromancy, you can probably make it through if you've got the right, or just general protection magics. It's just not cost effective to run caravans right now.
Gotcha.
Are there
So where's-
necromancers for hire?
I mean, you're in a town full of them. If you wanted to hire a guide, like I said, all the official businesses that move back and forth are in downtime right now, but you might be able to find somebody who would run you there for, if the coin's right.
Who's the best?
You're asking for my personal recommendation?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. That's a good question. Give me a second to think on that. And he steps over and walks over to Alan, who's just sat down.
We don't know it's Alan, do we?
You do, because you've seen me like this before.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What can I get for you?
Whatever ale is finest, and I drop a few coins.
Sets you up.
Sweet. I just say sweet. Does he think I'm hot?
Make an insight.
Roll for perception.
Yeah, make an insight check.
God damn it.
Ooh, 19, baby.
I mean, he seems to,
That's a no.
blush a little bit at you,
Cool. I kind of look over to Lulu and Charlie. Is like, I couldn't help but overhear you say you were trying to get to, what's the name of the town again?
Lokiel.
Lokiel.
We're a mess.
And I'm like, wink. God.
He comes back over and he says, "Yeah, so if you're looking to hire, there's a lady by the name of Brisnava. She runs a delivery business. Knows her way around the festering fields pretty well. I can put you in touch with her if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
He snaps his fingers and waves a skeleton over. You see, there's one of the skeletons is like mopping the floor in the bar. He sets the mop in the bucket, walks over, and the barkeep grabs a parchment and writes a little note and hands it to the skeleton. Says, "Take that to Brisnavale." And the skeleton kind of jogs out the door. Is there anything else that you would like to attend to while you're in this bar waiting for this messenger to return?
Nope, just drinks.
All right. You're having a few drinks. I will get back to y'all momentarily. In the meantime, at the magic shop, you go to Malifaux's Miscellany, a magic shop that's run by a halfling, not too far from the campus. You able to see the map and everything?
I could see it. Yeah.
Excellent. As you first step in, there's kind of a counter right by where you walk up to. Halfling pops up. Looks like he's probably, middle-aged. Wearing some robes and has, again, the sort of standard Holofaustian giant brimmed black hat. He says, "Welcome to the Miscellany. What can I do for you?"
Nolo still head and book.
Yeah, definitely.
Charlung will step
You know,
up.
he's kind of trying to look over the edge of the book and see what Nolo's reading. Almost like up on the counter to do so. What was Charlung doing?
Trying to basically talk the guy into or ask if he does any trading with the, why can't I remember the name of the place?
Loki.
Low keel.
Low keel.
I'm gonna put it in the chat so
All right.
that
Please do.
Loki with a L.
Low keel.
yeah.
It's more fun when we all forget.
I've also put the guide's name in the chat, but
All right. I will copy both of those things to the other chat.
excellent.
Yeah, like Nolo, like doesn't look up for it, like Loki and just keeps reading.
Yeah, so I got some customers who wanted me to get them as close as I could, and this is where I landed. I was hoping you might be trading with them.
From time to time, I get a little bit of information from the Order of the Closed Book. Once in a while, I'll acquire something. But trade is pretty well closed down for the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Bad weather. It's storm season. The festering fields are not particularly safe this time of year. But if there's something particular that you're looking for, I can see if I have it in my archives.
I was also hoping that you might be, though I understand this might not be your most preferred form of barter, but I'll like pull out one of the mini platinum bars that I'm carrying with me,
Okay.
and set it on the table. But
Oh, I certainly will accept adamantine as payment, but
our adamantine bars, yes, sir.
but what would you like to purchase?
I need a lot of inks, a lot of chalks, and a lot of gemstones for inscribing circles.
Oh, this will cover just about everything I have in stock. He hops down off the counter, runs in the back, comes back out with 3 bags. Teleportation circles, I take it?
You know,
There should be enough in there to cast about 400 of them.
you wouldn't happen to know if that Temple of the Closed Book doesn't sound like it has a teleportation circle, do you?
No, the monks at Locale have sworn off teleportation.
Yeah. All right. Glad
Anything
to
else I
live in
can-
civilization.
Anything else I can do for you?
Did you need anything while we were here, bud?
I'd probably just want like a general, I guess, like refill of like my spell components, probably. I don't know how much that would run.
Oh, like just to refill your component pouch.
Yeah.
20 gold.
I'll give him 20 gold.
Excellent. Pleasure doing business with you. Enjoy your stay in Hollowfaust. Best of luck getting to Locale.
Thank you. Run into another wall again. Sorry, and then keep going.
We should probably
Excellent.
go meet up with the pub crew.
All right, so the two of you start heading to the pub. As you start making your way there, let me just throw your tokens over there before I forget to. We move to the Temple of Madriel. Ithrin, you step into the temple and you find it.
Plus one black for me.
Is it? Hold on 2 seconds. You step into the temple and you find it empty. There doesn't appear to be anyone in service. There is a pool of holy water in the center of the temple. Each of these circles is a statue of the Redeemer.
Okay. Could I make a check, or would I already know the appropriate way to treat the holy water? Like I know sometimes there's like a font that you're supposed to wash your hands in, and sometimes that's not what the water's there for. And
Yeah, this is like you can sort of anoint yourself with it as a general cleansing and open prayer for forgiveness, effectively.
yeah. So Ithrin will then do that. And probably leave like a couple coins on the ledge as an offering.
Right. As soon as you touch that holy water to your forehead, a bright light fills the entirety of the chamber, almost blinding.
I look around.
Half a second. As you look around, you see a glowing angel with blue skin and eagle wings, that probably a 10-foot wingspan, floating above the pool.
I genuflect.
Floats down and lands in front of you. The you carry a magic some sort of trickery. You're hiding from someone.
Yes, I am hiding from Freya because I have done something that will save a lot of lives, but angered her.
And you've come to petition for aid.
Yes.
Tell me, why would the Redeemer insert herself in the business of a cleric and her god?
Because I betrayed my goddess, and that sounds like something that requires redemption. I know that Freya will probably smite me for what I've done, and I knew that when I did it, and I knew that I was going against her commands at the time, but she wanted she wanted a world that was one big ice cube with nothing living on it. And I wouldn't mind winter returning to where it's supposed to be, but only as part of the cycle where it's supposed to be.
Poor Slytherin, you are so young. Your people are so young. Winter is where it is supposed to be. The world operates under the plan that was laid out by the victors. The fact that you were duped by a demigod with delusions of grandeur is tragic and is terrible. But I don't believe it warrants, on its face, the intervention of my goddess. Also, you claim to petition for redemption, but have yet to pay the wage of your sin.
That's true.
Do you know the types of punishments that are generally reserved for a cherished cleric tasked directly with a mission by their deity?
I have a
Who
very
should.
vivid imagination, so yes.
Oh, it is not an issue of imagination. It is an issue of there is a prescribed consequence that is likely to occur to you.
Oh, the player is derping, but I had this described like some sort of like living death stasis thing.
Right, the becoming unhallowed.
Right. Yeah, so then Nathan will say, yes, I have seen the Unhallowed, and I really don't want to become one.
I'm certain you do not, but it is outside of my power and my mistress's wishes to prevent or interfere with a relationship between divinity and its representatives on Earth, on Skarn. Now,
There's nothing I can do to change either of your minds?
should you endure the state and still seek my goddess's embrace, there may be a means of earning that redemption. But what you're asking right now is an escape hatch, a loophole, a way out of facing what you have done. And that is not Madriel's business.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for your time and your wisdom.
Blessings upon you, and perhaps when all is said and done, your goddess will grant you mercy.
She's the definition of a cold-hearted bitch, so I don't think that's possible. But thank you.
He nods and says, "Blessings be upon you," and flies back up into the sky, disappearing in a flash of light. You are blessed and are under the effects of a blessed spell until you sleep.
Nice. Ithrin will take some time to contemplate her own mortality before seeking out the rest of the party where they're at.
Excellent. As you get take a few minutes, engage in some prayer, and then eventually start making your way to the bar. So we turn our attention back to the bar. Alan, Charlie, Lulu, you've waited for probably about 20 minutes. The skeleton returns, hands the barkeep a piece of parchment. Barkeep unfolds it, opens it. Says, "Well, Brznava is willing to meet with you, is willing to consider your offer and negotiate." Hands you the parchment. There's an address on it.
Should we go there?
What if I message? I have message, right?
Message, I think you need line of sight for. Sending, I think.
Or
is one different,
sending,
yeah.
or I have something. Hold on. I have sending, yeah. Yeah, so why don't I use sending? Hold on. I keep scrolling the wrong part of the screen. They're split into two groups, right?
Yes, and actually, very shortly, like within minutes of the skeleton arriving, you do see Charlung and Nolo enter.
Okay, well then I will use sending to message Ithrin, jeez, and tell her that we are supposed to meet somebody to discuss assistance.
I will go where the message tells me to go.
I would think we'll meet at the tavern or the whatever it is, and then go from there together.
Okay. About 5 minutes after Charlung and Nolo arrive, Ithrin arrives as well. Charlung, Nolo, Ithrin, you all do notice, obviously, that Alan is in her human guise again.
In a while.
We should go and meet Brznava.
Who?
I'll catch Ithrin up that we've met, that we've been referred to somebody who can help us get passage through, and the necromancer storm things and everything.
All right.
That's for everybody, obviously, because half of us weren't here.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm fucked, but it's okay. Maybe.
What did you do?
I mean, the whole snow egg squish thing will probably get me smote.
No,
And
like where'd you
Madriel.
go?
Oh, I went to go ask Madriel for help, and She sent one of her angels to talk to me, which was actually pretty generous that I got that much attention. But the angel explained that there's nothing she can do until the smiting. And
Sounds like
maybe she'll help after and maybe not.
Well, that's useful.
Are you
Unacceptable.
all are you all noticing a pattern here?
The
You all seem
gods
to
of
have
bastards, yes.
given so much for these gods, and what do they give you back in return?
No, I'm with you,
Death.
dude. But I am also trying not to get smote.
So we have to kill the gods.
Anarchy.
Oh
I
man, like the
mean,
biggest
Swing
smile on
gods killed
Nolan's
their
face
gods.
right now as like Alan says that. Oh my god.
if you know how, I'm listening.
This is never gonna end this mission.
Oh, I love when things line up perfectly.
Oh.
Well, hold on. Wasn't the whole reason we were trying to get to Lokiel so that you could talk to this?
Well, to Madriel, ideally, but if you get to Lokiel, you can still either A, do a bunch of research because it's one of the most well-stocked libraries in Skarn, but B, the Orrery of the Plains is there, so you could theoretically go anywhere, including any divine plane or zodiacal plane, which might not only
Come in
be right, might not only be like if you wanted to, for example, petition. You still have the option of petitioning Hadrad, but also if you wanted to hide, that might not be a bad place to do it. Alternatively, you can go back home and wait.
Wait
I
for
wanna be-
it to promote.
I want to be a little more proactive.
We're
What
gonna
is
go.
wait, what yeah, out of character talking, like wasn't there like a thing we learned about where she can basically like get out of her cleric like contract or something like that? Did I like imagine that conversation happening as like our options?
Yeah, I don't believe that there was any discussion of like breaking her obligation to her cleric. I mean, she could renounce her god, like that is the thing she could do. But that's kind of closing the barn doors after the horses have gotten out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, renounce or not, I'm still getting smote.
Right. Yeah, you can beg Denev for help, but Denev is, asleep for the most part. Um,
Uh,
Having said that, there's a lot of divine planes that you could try to, like, if you wanted to just hide, you could go run to one of the divine planes and maybe stay a step ahead.
yeah, so the angel did give Ithrin one small piece of hope, which is just like, you might have to suffer, but then we'll fix it. But also I don't necessarily want to rely on that. Um, so
So
very
with
few good options.
my background in where am I from again? I forget the
Oh, Ashrek?
Asherak, yeah. So I've been around like gods and demigods a lot, and obviously I've been just like preparing for a while for something that Alan just like mentioned a minute ago. Do I know how strong demigods are relatively compared to like mortals? Obviously they're like, super strong, but like is it feasible?
You know that there's been no instances that you know of where mortals have slain a god or a demigod. However, you do know that mortals did once slay a titan.
And that's like on par.
That's more powerful than a god. It was hundreds of them, and the survivors were cursed eternally. And the god that they worshipped was killed in the process. But the Forsaken Elves of Termana did kill Churn.
It was possible.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's how we operate.
Anyway, that's why I got these books. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading.
Also, I would say, why don't you go ahead and give me either your option of a history or religion check, Nola?
All right. 29.
Okay,
Ooh.
excellent. So with that result, you're also acutely aware that the demigods are nothing if not petty. So while the divine victors might not deign to get in the middle of demigod bullshit, other demigods might very well stick their nose in one another's business. There is no truce that prevents them from doing that. Happens in Asherak all the time. Them sort of sniping at one another. So it's possible to seek out the patronage of another demigod to act on Ithrin's behalf. You'd have to figure out which one and what you could offer them and what basically you'd be trying to find a demigod to hide behind.
Yeah, I'd share that. I'm just basically like, you just gotta find the demigods to just start some squabble with her and let them take care of each other. Or more than one. The more the merrier. Maybe they can pick each other off and it's like less, it's even more, it's just great. More than go down.
We just need to sow the seeds of discord.
Yep.
Anyway, back to my
Iceman's been
books.
talking shit.
Oh my God, not to talk shit, but did you hear that?
Did you hear? We can go mean girl on this. We can do it.
Yeah, we can.
Did you? Oh my God.
Another option, just to throw this out there, this is something that would probably have occurred to all of you at this point. Ithrin can't become unhallowed if she's dead.
That's
Or
fun.
undead.
I don't know if that's
Like a
better.
Romeo and
I
Juliet.
was gonna say that might have occurred to us, but that was sad.
Romeo and Juliet Ithrin and give her some sort of poison that makes her heart stop for a little bit, and then the goddess is like, well, I guess she's dead, and then we bring her back to life.
To be fair, we are in the
Yes.
city where that's possible. We could just make that
I mean,
happen.
I'm undead, so
You're doing just fine.
no regrets.
These are all options.
I mean, I guess we could find a friendly vampire.
These are all options that we're going to leave you to ponder until next session, because that's where we're going to wrap things up for this week. With you all sitting in the pub, getting ready to go talk to Brznava, your potential guide to Lokil, should you decide you still want to go there. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's session?
It was awesome.
I'm just putting a Mother's just
fun.
excellent after this conversation. Excellent.
All right. Well, that being said, then I will have everyone give us your pertinent details as we sign off for tonight. So starting this time with Lulu, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would care to promote.
Hi, I'm Allie. I play Lulu. We're both she, her. Last week I was in Portland. Highly recommend. It was a beautiful place. Didn't think that the pictures would do it justice, but it was really pretty. So that's my fun fact this week.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you had fun in Portland. I hear nice things.
Good.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Next up, Charlie, your pertinence, please.
I am Sarah Sharnover, she, her. I play Charlie, she, her. I forgot who I was for a minute. I play video games and write books and talk shit all over the internet. I'm Wordsmith Sarah, pretty much everywhere. So that's me.
Excellent. And I am going to throw a link to Sarah's Patreon in the chat. Thank you so much. Next up, Nolo, your pertinence, please.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Newton. I'm playing Nolo. Both of us, he, him. I'm pretty much everywhere at Mike Newton. And I just want to share like a little like cool thing that I've like learned recently. It's just if you are a creative and you're like me with like ADHD and you find yourself kind of like stun locked in not being able to like create and everything, and you don't want to take prescription drugs like Adderall because that's scary to you, look into a lion's mane. It's a little mushroom you can take in like pill form, and it helps with like bunch of like cognitive things, like your memory, your focus, your energy, all that stuff. I've been taking it for a couple of days now, and it's life changing. So I'm really productive right now. So check out lion's mane. It's pretty dope. Not sponsored, obviously, because it's just a mushroom. But yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that that's working out for you, man. That's awesome news. Good.
Thank you.
Good to hear.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Congratulations. Next up, we have Ithrin. Your pertinence, please.
Hello, I've been playing Ithrin. My name is Rachel. You can find me Stolen Fires pretty much everywhere, except Blue Sky, because I haven't gotten an invite code yet, hint, hint. But you can find me on Twitch on this coming Friday. I will be running a Blade Runner Chronicle. Should be lots of fun. They will be investigating an explosion at the Wayland-Yutani shipyard.
Nice. Sounds like a good time. Please head over there and give Rachel a follow. I've thrown the link in the chat. Next up, we have Alan. Your pertinence, please.
Hi guys, my name is Milena. She, they. I play Alan. She, her. I am a coach, movement coach / art teacher / illustrator in Chicago. And this week I wanted to share that my printer fucked up my stickers, so I had to cut them out by hand. And this took like, I don't know, 5 minutes to cut. But he's so cute, right? Like, look at this guy. So if you go on my Patreon and you subscribe to my Patreon, you will get one of these. He kind of looks like Dragon Ball Z things to me.
That is adorable, and it does have a bit of a DBZ vibe to it. And I've thrown the link to Milena's Patreon in the chat, so definitely go over there and check that out. I am a proud supporter of Milena's Patreon, and I highly recommend you throw some money that direction. And then that brings us around to Charlung. Your pertinence, please.
Yeah, hey, I'm Corey, aka Narf on the interwebs, and I play Charlung, both of us, they, them. And I work on a video game where you could pay homage to a mushroom, sentient and godlike mushroom, named Pax Clank, actually. It's a game called Caves of Cud. You can check it out. Fun little adventure role-playing roguelike. Yep.
Dope. And I've thrown the link to the Caves of Cud website in the chat. It's available on Steam, pretty much everywhere where you buy video games, itch, I believe, right? So yeah, you can get it wherever you acquire your favorite digital pastimes. And I guess that brings us to me. My name is Travis. My pronouns are he, they. When I'm not running games, I am writing them, which brings me to the first thing I want to call everyone's attention to. Trinity Continuum Adventure is now available in POD and PDF over at DriveThruRPG. I'm super stoked about this. It's one of my favorite settings of RPGs, period. And I had the extreme privilege and pleasure of getting to write on it. So I would highly recommend you go over and pick that up. And then rate it, review it, say nice things about it. I would love to hear what people think of it. It was a delight to work on. If you're into pulp fantasy fiction and punching Nazis and Flash Gordon and fun stuff like that, definitely go grab Adventure and tell all your friends to do the same. I also want to remind you that the last Friday of every month is Onyx Path Game Night over at Start Playing. I just had Devin from Start Playing here on the channel, and we walked through setting up a game. It's real simple. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you can go watch that in the VOD now. Otherwise, it'll be up on our YouTube in a few days. I will be running They Came From Beneath the Sea for the next game night. That game should go up publicly in a couple of days. And then also want to remind you that Onyx Path Con is coming up June 16th through 18th. There will be a lot of fun stuff, lots of panels and actual plays. We are partnered with a couple different channels. Dork Tales, who I'll be rating here in a moment, is going to be having some programming for us. Our good friends over at Rolling Nomads will be carrying some programming for us. And this year, we're also adding Simulacra Studios to our partnered channels. So lots of fun, lots of actual plays. We're going to be showing off some neat new stuff that I can't quite tell you about yet. It's just going to be a good time. You don't want to miss it. So put that, mark that in your calendars, June 16th through 18th, Onyx Path virtual gaming convention right here on Twitch. You can also get more information on all these things over on our Discord. Throwing the link to that in the chat there. So yeah, it has been a pleasure. Oh, and the last thing, again, if you did back Dead Man's Rest on Kickstarter, make sure that you have checked your backer kit, because the Kelder Mountains Vigil Watch book is out. And we talked a little bit about some of that lore tonight from that book, actually. Barak Torn is covered in there. If you want to get all the secrets of the dwarves and the Drendali elves, that's the book you want. If you didn't back Dead Man's Rest on Kickstarter or back your kit, that's okay. Vigil Watch Kelder Mountains is coming very, very soon to Drive Through RPG. Yeah, other than that, I guess as the late, great Jerry Springer used to say, be good to yourselves and each other. And yeah, wash your hands, get your shots, all that fun stuff. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Till then, take care.
Bye.